bullets than guns. Instead of healthcare, there's bullets for everyone. Everything fucking sucks, I hate it here. Everything fucking sucks, I hate it here. Everything fucking sucks, I fucking hate it here. My friend called me on the phone, which was already pretty annoying. I said, "Hey, what do you want?" He said, "Dude, my car's stuck. I'm pulled over on the side of the road. I've got a flat tire, I'm low on gas, and my phone's about to die." I said, "You think that's bad? How do you think I feel? I'm the one listening to all your problems right now." 1 minute ago, I was taking a nap. Then I heard the phone, so I answered the phone, and well, you know the rest. So how do you think that I feel? How do you think that I feel? How do you think that I feel? Do you care about how I feel now? Just think about how I feel for once. Anyway, after that, his phone died, so we got disconnected. I don't know whatever happened. I never heard from him again. He's dead. Later that day, my boss called me on the phone. I saw it was her, so I tried to send it to voicemail, but she kept calling back. So I answered and said, "Hey boss, what's up?" She said, "I'm understaffed because nobody wants to work anymore." I said, "You think that's bad? How do you think I feel? I spent my whole life trying to be an artist and I don't even have health insurance. How do you think that I feel? How do you think that I feel? How do you think that I feel? Do you care about how I feel now? Just think about how I feel for once." Then later on, I was at therapy. My therapist asked, "How do you feel today?" And I said, "I'd rather not talk about it."
We're up, baby.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the Living Room Show. I am back from the wilds of Montana and Wyoming. Did not get bitten by any bears. Came close, but here I am. We've got an amazing show for all of you. A couple of quick announcements before we get started. Most of you have been here, so you know the deal. You know how stand-up comedy works on Zoom. In-person comedy has been canceled, and this is how we're doing all comedy from here on out. All of you are at the forefront. Go ahead and put us in speaker view. If you're currently watching this in a extended version of the bunch, put it into speaker view. Hit that button in the upper corner, head it into speaker view. Next thing, if you have not too much background noise, if you can go ahead and unmute your microphones, that would be amazing. We want to hear your awesome laughter. It helps make this feel like we are all in that show together. Who wants to give us an example of what that amazing laughter sounds like? Go ahead, give it a shot. Always creepy. Always creepy. When we ask for the example, it's never a normal sounding laugh.
Never. Not once.
Thank you, everyone. You always satisfy exactly what I expect. Predictable. We appreciate it. And if you are somewhere with a lot of background noise, or if that's your natural laugh, by the way, is super creepy, go ahead and just have your cameras on so we can see your beautiful smiling face in case the smile is not as creepy as the laugh, in which case we can at least see that smile. We would really appreciate that. Next announcement, shout out to everybody watching us on Comedy Hub on Twitch. Give them a round of applause.
Hello, Twitchers.
We love having you here. Thank you so much for being here. And final announcement, this is a free stand-up comedy show. If you want to show the comics some love, even though you haven't yet seen the show, I predict you're going to have a great time. So go ahead and send us some tips. You could do that using the email livingroomcomedy@gmail.com on Venmo, PayPal, and Zelle. And we are on Cash App /$ Aaron Camino Smith. It's my whole name right there. That's how we're doing it. All right, everybody, we're going to get this show rocking and rolling right now with your MC. She is absolutely hilarious. She is the co-producer of this show. You know what I feel about her virtual background that matches mine. It's perfect. Let's hear right now for Carrie Gravenson, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Excellent to be here. Yes, we have matching backgrounds. And I like that you point out that the Cash App is your name and not Living Room Show, meaning that you're just, anything we get from Cash App, I have no record of it. You're just embezzling money. But also, Aaron, if you want to embezzle money, I think you should think of something better than stealing money from this show. I'm just going to throw that out there. This is not the giant moneymaker we thought it would be. When we decided to be millionaires, we were like, why don't we start a free comedy show? That's a guaranteed way to do it. How's everybody doing? Is anyone here for the first time? Do we have any noobs? Nobody's new. Everyone, oh, Lauren, you're new? Are you comfortable sharing what part of the world you are calling from? Because you're calling?
Louisiana.
Louisiana, cool. It's shaped like a boot, like Italy. There's a pizza place in New York City called Two Boots, and it's Louisiana and Italy, and it sells pizza with crap on the bottom of it. It's not very good pizza, but that's my association with Louisiana. Take that. Did anyone have the best week ever? Does anyone have a gripe about the previous week? Reflections on August. This is our last weekend of August. It's Labor Day weekend. We're all going back to school on Tuesday. Did you know that there is an event that I just heard about called Telephone Tuesday? And that is because the most phone calls placed in the U.S. happen the Tuesday after Labor Day every year.
Whoa.
That is true. I know. Nothing funny about it, but little factoid I learned today. And that'll be in my organizing newsletter, which goes out on Sunday. So, you look up stuff, you don't want to use it up. So this happened to me today. I got out of the shower and I used a Q-tip in my ear.
Oh, no.
You know how you're not supposed to use the Q-tip? Thank you. Okay, some applause. I get that's the best applause break I've ever gotten.
Brave.
Brave, yes. Because you're not supposed to put it in your ear canal, but everybody does. They just don't want to be sued, right? So they tell you not to do it. And I put the Q-tip in, and I pulled it out, and it was bright pink.
Oh.
Right? And I was like, oh, well, that's new. What's that? I wonder if the other ear, and I put the other side of the Q-tip, and I put it in the other ear, and I pull it out, bright pink.
Oh, no.
Now I know what you're thinking. Are you sure it wasn't red? Because red would mean that you poked so far, you got into your brain, and that's brain goo, right? No, this was decidedly not red. I've poked a Q-tip in so hard that I've bled. I've done that one. I know that one. This wasn't that. This was bright pink. Are you proud? So brave still? Yeah? Still on my side? No, this was decidedly pink. And I was like, that's weird. So I look at my AirPods, earbuds, AirPods. Which one is it? Ear. And I look at those things, and they're vaguely pink. So I'm like, all right, that's weird. So here's what you shouldn't do. You shouldn't Google, why is the inside of my ear canal pink? Because do you know what happens when you Google that? It says it only looks pink. Yeah. Oh, we got to catch Brandon up because he's coming in late. He's not going to know where this story is coming from. It just says it only looks pink, but that's definitely blood, and you have an ear infection, and you need to get meds. And I was like, don't tell me I have an ear infection. I've had an ear infection. This isn't it. This is pink ear, okay? I looked up if it's possible to get mildew in your ear. It is not. Does anyone want to guess what the answer was and where I found the answer?
What?
No, Jake, you don't count. I already told you. It was the earbuds. AirPods. But why were they pink?
Nail polish.
Nail polish?
No.
It rubbed off, but they're white. This landed me to Reddit because all of the other sites were no good. Reddit, I mean, you can feel one way or another about Reddit, but if you ever land on Reddit, you're probably going to get your answer. And you know what the answer is? It's so stupid. I can't believe I just spent 3 minutes talking about it. You ready for this?
We're ready.
My earplugs are pink.
Oh. You're not that stupid.
Oh my God. People are logging out. That was it. She's too stupid.
Didn't mention that you were wearing earplugs.
I know. I wasn't thinking about it. Who's thinking of earplugs? It's not. I only think of them when I'm in the bed. This was out of context. This is not an earbud. I mean, an earplug world. I'm not in earplug world now. I'm out. I'm awake. Yeah, put in and they're pink because they're made for women, by the way, you guys. These are, I'm using women's earplugs.
I'm sold.
How are women, I heard a man say that he was sold. You can't use them, men. They're made for women's ears.
I hope they're more expensive.
If you put
She likes pink too.
Yeah. If you put in a lady's earplug and you're a man, you turn into a woman. This is the cheapest trans surgery.
That easy.
That's what's happening, everybody.
So I don't want to use men's earplugs because men are gross. Am I right? So I've been using these lady earplugs, and they've been turning my ear canals pink and making me think that my brain was turning pink. And we had a great Barbie summer last summer. So that happened to me this week. I bet I'm the only one this week who had pink ear canals. Jealous?
Yeah.
Better than pink eye.
It's better than pink eye. But if you stick earplugs in your eye, then you'll have pink eye, but you won't have pink eye. And then you put a Q-tip in your eye and it comes out pink and you're like, oh, I've been putting ladies' earplugs in my eye. I didn't learn from that ear thing. All right, you guys, I think, yes, I did read that correctly. This next comic said, please tell an insane story before bringing me on stage. And I've done that. We are going to get this show started. We have an amazing lineup today. I'm so delighted. I put in the newsletter that it's nuts. We have a nuts lineup today. So get your EpiPens. We got some nuts lineup today. And I'm going to be bringing you your first comedian coming to the stage. Give a big round of applause for Aaron McGuire, everybody.
Hello. Can you hear me? I am in a car in front of a methadone clinic right now.
We can hear you, and we're concerned.
Because I feel like I'm going to walk in there right as soon as this is done. Yeah, a little for everybody. Did you bring enough for the class? Carrie, it's weird that I want your lady plugs because I went to the dry cleaners. That sounds so kinky. I know.
Awesome.
Which is, I hope how they advertise it. but I went to the dry cleaners the other day and I dropped off some clothes to be cleaned, and I looked at the receipt and it said 1 shirt, 1 pair lady pants. And I've never felt like genderized in a really aggressive way. And the weird part was they were my husband's pants.
Nice.
He's a small guy. Yeah, they if you get lady pants, they should be 33% less expensive.
Agree.
That's what I'm thinking. Thank you guys for coming out here.
Yeah.
Thanks to Square Peg, who looks like a poor man's Jon Stewart. I'm just checking out the room here. Jake, some serious facial hair. Henry, Jackie, thank you so much. Vivian, you guys, you all look so sexy tonight. I am sitting in a car in New York City with nobody else. I'm just alone. And yeah, it's fun. Where I am parked, it is the one place you can see people doing heroin and Tai Chi. And you can't tell the difference, you know? Like, what's that guy doing? Standing crane? No, he's just been trying to pick up that napkin for the last 3 days. But now here we are, living our best lives. I went to a coffee place today. I had cold brew iced coffee. I never knew that I could skywrite before, but that is some powerful stuff. And they were all about the specialty beans too. And I walked in and they were like, "Do you want a robust Nicaraguan?" And I was like, "I'm married." So yeah. Grande robust Nicaraguan, please. Extra hot. Because my husband is none of those things. He's short, he's bald, his knees don't bend. It's like I married a gingerbread man. Which is good because they have houses. He's 10 years older than me. We met on Ancestry.com. And he has a hard time sleeping. He has to use white noise. And that's tough for me because I hate country. We've been married for a long time. We've been married for 12 years, and I just found out that he used to be a party clown. What a bozo. He didn't tell me. I found a box in the basement of rainbow wigs and white makeup, and I was like, oh, God, please be a serial killer. At least one of us would get a Netflix special.
Oh, no.
Well, you know, it's too late for me to run. I can't because I'm in too deep. He'll chase me in a car with 9 other clowns. Finding out your husband used to be a party clown is like finding out your therapist goes to Jonas Brothers concerts. Just never needed to know that. But when I look back, there were a lot of red flags attached to blue flags, attached to green flags, attached to yellow. And it explains why his safe word is
What?
how did I go out on that? The punchline. You can't
We
hear
need to know
that.
the safe word.
There it is.
Went out again.
It went out again.
Nobody can do it.
Just trust me. Find it online. This is an amazing joke, you guys. On Instagram. It's killing it right now on Instagram and TikTok. I don't mean to brag. I have 30 followers. I hate online stuff except for YouTube. I can spend hours there. Did you ever like fall down a YouTube K-hole and you come out the next day thinking you're an expert in maritime disasters?
Yeah.
I have a PhD in everything. If I spend enough time on YouTube, I can convince myself that I can blow glass. Because that's all there is on YouTube. We're just now, all we're doing is watching each other live our lives, you know? Entertainment is getting so niche. If you have a weird kink, YouTube's like, we got you. And I used to watch TV shows, but now I come home and I'm like, turn on the guy who cleans really dirty carpets. People are becoming millionaires. I used to know, like, clothes used to tell you who a millionaire was. You'd see a guy in a suit now and you're like, oh, he must be poor. He's got a job. You see a guy in sweatpants and you're like, that's a billionaire. There is a guy who's a millionaire on YouTube right now. All he does is trim cow hooves. And I can't stop watching. I love him. I've given to his Patreon page. What's it going to be like in 20 years? That's why everybody's angry at people who YouTube. It's like the rest of us went to offices. We sat in traffic. We wore suits. YouTubers just look around and they're like, what if I smeared pesto on my face? Maybe that could net me $200K. What's it going to be like in 20 years when these people are parents? How are they going to guilt trip their kids? Like, do you know how many watermelons I had to smash with my ass so that we could afford to go to Disney World? Eat your peas. There's kids twerking in China. All I have to say is I hope everything important has already been built, like bridges, you know? Because TikTok will teach you how to Dougie, but it's not so good with the metal work. The only way that we get even with Gen Z is because, you know, in 2 decades, they've become millionaires dancing on TikTok, but in 2 decades, they're not going to have indoor plumbing. We'll gather the kids around and tell them about a time when we had electricity and say things like, we used to make the sunshine indoors. And they'd be like, yeah, that's good story, Grandma. Let's bring you back to your mud hut. I like to do self-help stuff on YouTube. I do subliminals, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's subliminal messages under white noise. So it's just some chick going, you're strong. You're powerful. You're in control. You know, lies. And you're supposed to listen to them while you go to sleep so that it sinks into your subconscious. Pro tip, if you guys decide to try this, buy YouTube Premium. Because I put in my AirPods, I'm going to sleep. I hear, you're strong. You're powerful. You're liberty, 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 liberty. I don't know if I'm getting better, but now I have whole term life insurance. And that's important. Aaron, how much time do I have? Because I can't see crap on this thing.
Take it
minute.
I have a minute. Oh, okay, good. Then I'll land the plane strong. Get ready, kid. I am way into online shopping right now. I like online shopping. I like to try clothes on at home where I can cry by myself. I don't need to do that in a setting. So, but the thing is, every time you buy something from a company, you're in an abusive relationship with that company. You get that first email that's like, oh my God, hi, we're so happy to have you here. Thank you so much. We're so thrilled. Are you ready to tell your friends about us? It's like, back off, Coles. I just bought a turtleneck. But you try to break up with them and it's worse. You get that email that's like, we're so sorry to hear you want to go.
Oh, God.
But before you leave, can we just ask you a few questions? Was it too many emails? Not enough emails? Not the right emails? Is it because I'm fat? You get the 12 follow-up questions. I know you said it's over, but this blender made me think of you.
Oh my God.
And they try all the same tricks as humans too. If I gave you 15% off, would you stay? But I'll never not shop online because of the coupon code, which you can't get in stores, only online. And I'm amazing at the coupon code. I will always find it. I become an auctioneer just sitting in front of my laptop, like 5 off, 10 off, 15 off, 20 off, off 5, off 10, off 15, off 20, winter 5, winter 10, winter 50, winter 20, spring 5, spring 10, spring 15, spring 20, spring is spring 5, spring is spring 10, spring is spring 15, spring is spring 20. Sold to the redhead who's got nothing better to do with her life.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
Yes. Nothing will send me on a hunt seeing that field when you're checking out that's like coupon code. And I'm like, I don't have one. Why don't I have one? And so
find it.
I know. So I Google and then like all these sites come up and then they're expired, they're too old, but you can see like a common, like a thread, you know, so you're like, summertime 20, summertime, like exactly what you said. And like, I feel like a failure if I can't. I'm going to text you next time.
Please do. Desperation is the world's worst cologne.
Wow. True. That is absolutely true. That's good dating advice.
True.
Aaron, Zoom censored your punchline every time, and we're all dying to know what your safe word is.
I can't believe that you can't hear this. I'm trying it one more time. Are you ready?
Yes. Now I feel
hear
like,
that?
no, you're messaging with us now, and it's great, but I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight because I don't know how to. I don't. If I look,
Oh,
if
you know what? Okay, this is totally going to get more traffic to my Instagram page at Erin McGuire Official. Go look for Party Clown. You will see it. I can't tell you what it is. It defies description.
Here's
Erin
some
McGuire
things that
Official.
I think is it the word incontrovertible?
No.
Is
Too smart.
Is it juxtaposition?
I wish.
Is
A lot of
it
syllables.
inexplicable? I think a great safe word would be inexplicable.
In theory, it depends on who you're dating, I think.
All right. Well, that is
The only
great
way to
send us
find
all-
out. The only way to find out is to find me on Instagram.
I love
So
that.
there-
Everyone follow Erin on Instagram. We're going to talk about this next week. Definitely, for sure. Give it up again for Erin McGuire, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, I don't like buying clothing either. And to avoid buying clothing, I only buy clothing from one store, and that is, of course, Costco. This was big news. I can't believe I didn't mention this out of the gate, but I finally got my boyfriend to join Costco. Thank you. So when he told me, I was like, well, my work here is done. We can break up now.
Oh no.
Because I was hired by Costco to get people to join Costco, and I do this by dating them for 5.5 years. And once that's done, I mean, that's a check in my, I get a bonus now. So that's, it's the long con. But now we can both go in with our separate, he didn't join the executive level. We'll get him there. We're working on it. But that was a win for me this week. That's where my life is now. Are you guys ready for your next comic coming to the stage? He's going to tell us whether or not he's a member of Costco. That's what we all want to know. We also want to know his safe word. You guys give it up for Max Cohen, everybody.
Oh, thank you. I don't think it'll surprise you that my safe word is we don't have one. Our sex life is that vanilla that there's no danger. I will share that my wife is Russian, and she's so Russian that she won't buy membership to Costco, but she will hunt out gift cards on eBay.
Oh, right.
For $25 gift cards, which gets you access to Costco. And then we go to Costco and do a full shop, but she doesn't pay for membership. She doesn't have to. That's it. So that was Carrie's big news. I have some fun big news to share. My wife is pregnant.
I didn't know. Wow.
Yeah, she's 16 weeks pregnant, and I think it's very clear and important to say she is pregnant. We are expecting a baby. I never understand those guys that say we're pregnant. Nah. She's dealing with the nausea. She has the fatigue. She has all the acid reflux. I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs going, I got nothing to do for 9 months. Getting her pregnant and having a baby, I realize, is the most expensive way to show my high school bullies that I could, in fact, get laid. I showed them. What's fun is my wife didn't take my last name when we got married, so when this kid is born, its last name will be Cohen Cooperman, which I think is really fun. It sounds like it's halfway to a law firm. Yeah, kind of expecting this kid to come out with white shoes. Yeah. We're having a daughter. Very nice. We're having a girl for now, as I say, right? Who knows what they'll choose to identify as once they come out. But right now it's a girl. And, we were very excited for them. We high-fived. And my wife said, I didn't know you'd be that excited to have a girl, but I tried to throw in some like subliminal messaging over the last few weeks that I really wanted a girl. And I had to tell her, I was like, there was nothing subliminal about your feelings on this. You said every day for a month that you wanted a girl, and that if it were a boy, you'd kill yourself.
Oh God.
Yeah, she felt very strongly. So when we found out it was a girl, I was high-fiving that my wife would still be alive.
Dark.
I am very excited to have a kid, mostly because I'm going to have a whole new act in 9 months. That's going to be great. New jokes, left and right. Aaron, before the show started, was talking about doing some dad jokes. This has been my whole life. Aaron and Carrie will tell you, I was a father before this baby was even conceived. And this happened even as we were in the process of getting pregnant. We ended up doing IVF, and we did a genetic screening for everything to see what it was. So the results came back, and I told my wife, I said, the gene test came back. The gene test is in. He said, oh my God, what did it say? And I said, it came back positive for Levi's.
Max.
Yeah. You all are very smart and got it and grown as you should have. My wife didn't get it. She's like, oh my God, Levi's, is that serious? What does that mean? I was like, well, it really affects the legs. I found out in the screening I'm a carrier for Usher syndrome. So it doesn't affect me, but it's possible that my baby girl could be born with smooth moves. And listen, I'm just excited to have someone else to torture with these great dad jokes. I'm ready for it. As I mentioned, we did do IVF, which involved, if you've done it or if you know someone who's done it, there's a lot of shots and injections that are involved to get the woman ready to do everything she needs to do. And all of her friends were like, oh my God, how do you deal with getting pricked so much every day? Like, you just deal with a prick? And my wife was great. She was like, I've been dealing with a prick for the last 12 years. What's a few more? I've had the unique experience to do IVF from the male side, both here in the States and in Costa Rica. And let me just tell you, it is such a classy experience in Costa Rica, all right? When the man has to go back and give his sample, they take you to a very nice, discreet room. It's called El Masturbatorio. And instead of... It's what there's a fancy little label on the door. It's basically a baño. But in the baño, they have a very beautiful nude portrait, an oil piece of art on canvas. Like, it looks like it should be in a museum instead of what I'm about to do in front of it. It was an amazing experience. Then I come back to the States, and I did it here in the States, and it was exactly as gross as you thought it would be. There were magazines where I know for a fact that porn star had retired. They got out of the business. So this is, I don't know what they're doing here. They offered movies in the American version of the room. And these movies start halfway through. Some of you are getting this. It's just for what a man needs to do. It is really difficult to start knowing where another man finished. But we're so excited that she's pregnant, and I'm already like, she's a few weeks away from when the baby's ears can hear things, but I'm still leaning into the belly and I'm whispering things like, make lots of money. And share the money. Make money and share the money with your parents. Communism is not as bad as Fox News says. And I'm trying to think of, how we're going to parent and raise this kid, right? And my wife's philosophy is do less, which I really like, right? We're not going to be helicopter parents, we're going to freak out all the time. And I just keep going back. I'm watching Animal Channel documentaries now. I'm like, how did they do this in the wild? There are basically two schools of raising your kids in the wild. There's the sea turtle method, which is you abandon them on the beach and never see them before they're even born. I'd like to do a little more than that. That's a little too do less. What I want to do is pretty much what like the zebras and giraffes do. Is like the baby plops out, they have a few minutes to figure out how to walk, and then from what I can tell, the parenting method is basically keep up and do what I say, or we'll have another. That's it. We got 4 embryos on ice. We can do a couple do-overs. There's space. I am really excited to be a dad, and I'm really excited to be the first person that my daughter goes to when looking for her mom. You guys can tell I'm a nice guy, but I'm pretty useless for everything else. Everything is gonna go towards her. I will mention we've been together for we've been married for 9 years, but we've been together for 13 years altogether. And I feel like she deserves, I need to say that every time, I feel like she deserves credit for time served. All right, guys, I'm Exco, and you've all been great. Thank you very much for your time.
Give it up
Congrats,
for
buddy. Congrats.
Amazing. I'm still amazed that in the sampling department in America there are magazines. Like, shouldn't it just be like a whole lot of Wi-Fi?
Video, yeah.
Shouldn't it just be a room just chock filled with Wi-Fi? I feel like that's how the modern
Wi-Fi was good.
Okay, that's what the modern man requires these days is a strong Wi-Fi, not a bunch of freaky magazines. Sorry, 90s, but it was gross back then too. Give it up for Max Cohen and his samples.
Hey.
We're so excited for Vicky. That's so exciting. Yeah. I have a friend who did embryo adoption.
Uh-oh.
So this is crazy. She now has an almost 3-year-old. The 3-year-old has no DNA in common with either of her parents. So when she sees people in the store, they just both happen to be white, but people will say she looks just like you. And my friend doesn't want to get into the whole, actually, we're not related, technically. Which is true. Like, she's not related to her baby genetically. She's related to her baby because she carried the baby in her body, and then the baby clawed her way out. I don't know how babies are born. I assume they claw their way out. But rather than saying, no, this baby just clawed it, what she says is, thank you. Which is like, why wouldn't you want to humiliate a stranger? Don't assume that my baby and I are related. How dare you in this world, this modern marvel? You know how much it costs to adopt an embryo? I'm just going to throw this out there because I was amazed. This is just for the amount of science that went in. This was a year-long process. They started with IVF. They ended with embryo adoption. The adoption, the medicine, everything, all of it, $50,000. And I feel like that's a bargain. Like, that is a bargain. You moved an embryo. Most of that goes to lawyers, by the way, to like be like, whose baby is this? It's not a baby. Because you can't buy a baby, but you can like buy the medicine that gives you the baby. I thought I was like, that's a marvel that it's only $50,000. It's amazing. Yeah. So just that you can sell your embryos. Not technically, you know what I mean. You're donating them and then you're buying a lawyer. So speaking of giving sperm samples, are you ready for your next comedian, everybody? We're so excited. He's a friend of the show. We love having him here. Give it up for Dustin Chafin, everybody.
Yay! Congrats, Max, father to be. I love it. I just got a new dog, which is exciting. Basically I got my dog a dog because she just, she needed more in her life. So we got her a dog. And so I have two dogs. The first dog is incredibly smart. It's she can do both handshakes at the same time, walk on her hind legs, go round and round, like she fetches. She's amazing. The new dog eats pins. So that's where we're at. She's not as sharp as the first dog, but that's why I think that's why people keep having kids. They try to get the one smart kid, after they get the dumb kid. But do love her. She's dumb, but I love her. And I love having dogs. My favorite part about having dogs is people always say it's the greeting. You know what I mean? Like they come greet you at the door, and that is fun. It's amazing. My favorite part about having a dog is they're always ready to go. Like my dog can be in a dead sleep, and I just say ball, and she's up and she's ready to go. Like that's the best part about dogs. Just completely asleep. I say ball, she's up, she's ready. Let's do this. My human friends aren't like that. I can't call Aaron and be like, pickleball, and he's like, all right, let's go. He's on the court. He's on the court. He's ready to go. That's like a hey, I'll hit you next week. It's gonna take 3 weeks before we play pickleball. But Lacey Jane always ready to go when it comes to the ball. It's gonna be a rough set, guys. Some of this is like just I'm trying to do stuff you haven't heard because I've done this show a lot. But I love you guys. You guys are the best internet audience in the world, and we love you for this. I saw a driverless car today. I don't know, if you've seen that yet. But it's weird. You're never ready when you see it. You know what I mean? Like I was at a stoplight and I just just jamming out, welcome to Hotel California. And then you just look over and nobody's in the driver's seat. Like it just freaks you out. Like, I'm not ready for it. Like they should at least put a mannequin in there. You know what I mean? Like put something in there, maybe duct tape an Elmo to the steering wheel. I don't know. Put a Cocker Spaniel in there. I'd rather think a dog's driving then there's just a robot car going down the road. It's really terrifying. There's a lot of issues in this country. I feel that one's going to slip under the rug, and we should really get a hold of it because it was speeding too. It was speeding. It sped off, and it was reading its text. So it's text and speeding, and nobody cares. All right, that's the only joke I want to do today. As you all know, I've said this several times, one of those annoying recovering people. I always talk about how I'm addicted and everything. And so I celebrated 16 years this summer, which is a big deal. Don't clap. I'm not happy. Yes, living in my thoughts all day. You know what I mean? Thank God for the dogs. Thank God for the dogs.
That's true.
I feel like when you're a recovering addict, you're very sensitive to every art form. I feel like it's always about alcohol. Like you try to watch a TV show and everybody's addicted to drugs. Like every show I watch, I was trying to watch that show. Have you seen that TV show on Max, The Industry? I don't know if you've seen that show. I thought it was just going to be a bunch of agents looking for talent on TikTok, but apparently that's not what it is. It's about the trading floor in England, and everybody does cocaine. After the 4th episode, I got a nosebleed. You know what I mean? Like it's like so much cocaine in that show. But everything I like has some sort of drug attached to it. Like I love country music. I do, but it's always about drinking. Every song is about somebody left them and they got to drink beer in the bar. Every song. For once, I like to hear a country song where a guy's lady leaves him and he just goes for a LaCroix. You know what I mean? Just a nice bubbly. A little black cherry, to get through the day. I don't know. It's never that. We gotta rewrite a country song with seltzer water. That's all I'm saying. I am a recovering addict, but I was addicted to regular stuff. You know what I mean? Cocaine, whiskey, the regular stuff. But some people are addicted to weird stuff. People have talked about this a lot, but I just recently saw that show, My Strange Addiction, which is people addicted to eating toilet paper, broken glass, couch cushions. One lady's married to a puppet. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird thing. That's a pretty big jump. You know what I mean? Like tequila shots to like eating your couch. You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty big jump from addiction. And what if you have roommates? You know what I mean? Like we were going to watch the game, but Larry ate half the couch. So really, even the footstool? Come on. And what's your rock bottom? Rent-A-Center? You know what I mean? Come on, people. I don't know, because they rent couches. Which, yeah, that's what that joke would work. Yay! You can boo me. I don't care. This set is a boo. Let me tell you. All right, what do we got now? We got more jokes. We're addicted to our phones. Yes, right, everybody. It's hard to get off our phones. I hate everything about us as people that are addicted to our phones. You know what I mean? And everything is horrible. I hate targeted advertising. You know what I mean? Like that's the worst. Like I look at a bald ad once. I was like, hey, maybe I'll go to Turkey, get my hair done. Now every day I have to look at an ad telling me that I'm bald. Like every day, every single day. I'm just trying to find dog videos. And like, you sure you don't want to like rip your scalp to pieces and grow 3 hairs? Come on, come to Turkey. You might end up in a Turkish prison. Who knows what could happen? But you won't be bald. So yeah, that's a fun one. And but I hate that and it follows you around. You ever like look at a shirt and then that shirt follows you for like 4 years? Like you just try to look at something and like that shirt's like, you sure you don't want me? You know, it just shows up out of nowhere. It's ridiculous. It's like going to a regular store. You look at a shirt, you go in the parking lot and the guy just comes out with the shirt. You sure you don't want it? You sure you don't want it? Follows you home. It's like, he's in your closet. You sure you don't want this shirt? Anyway, that'll be funny in 2 years. We'll figure it out. Everything is fake. Everything is fake on the internet. Like I don't trust anything. Every interview, everything is fake. It's everything. We have no idea what is reality anymore. My mom thinks she's dating online. She does. She goes, I go, who you dating? She goes, I'm dating an African prince. And but apparently he's having a tough month. She's going to cash app him a few bucks. And she doesn't understand how this works. She gets catfished every day. She thinks it's like a 90s rom-com. You know, You've Got Mail. And let me tell you something, Mom. You're not going to meet Tom Hanks. You're going to meet the lead pirate from Captain Phillips. That's who. That's yeah. It's not Sleepless in Seattle. You're going to be penniless in Nigeria. That's where you're headed, Mom. That is where you're headed. Yeah, I have a crazy family. I grew up at a biker bar. I don't know if anybody had that experience. You're just, like hanging out with Sons of Anarchy people. That was ridiculous. I remember just being at a bar, drinking a Shirley Temple next to some dude that's facing manslaughter. Yeah, that was my upbringing. My dad was crazy. He was kind of a grifter. He was like a used car salesman. I remember one time one of our, most kids get like a second job, at the grocery store. My dad gave us, I swear, I'm not lying, a briefcase full of fake watches to sell in junior high. Like I was literally walking around junior high with like a briefcase full of fake Rolexes and Gucci's. You know what I mean? It was hilarious. And fake Gucci's. Yeah, that G fell off by 4th period. You know what I mean? Like it was and somebody turned me in too, and I knew who it was because his wrist was green. I knew who it was. The fake gold, everybody. Yeah, let's see here. I have a shopping addiction. Anybody else like just shop all the time? Fashion. I have like a jacket. I'll buy one jacket and I'll buy it in every color. Just every color. I'll buy the jacket, and then I fill up my closet. And then my girl's like, "You should take some stuff down to Goodwill." And I was like, so some guy can buy it for $1. I'd rather rent a rental storage than somebody get a bargain on something I paid way too much money for. You know what I mean? Like I would never drop anything off at Goodwill. So some guy can get it for $3. I paid $400 for that. You're not getting it for $2. That's my thing. I love fashion. I have to wrap up because I have a spot I got to drive to. But I love fashion. I went to fashion school. I did. I went to Parsons, a big fashion school in New York.
Good school.
Yeah, pretty big school. Yeah, I got in a minority scholarship. Heterosexual white guy, and that's all I got. I have to take off, but thank you so much. I love the living room show. Thank you, guys.
Give it up for everybody. I love that. I like that you did normal drugs like you said I didn't do anything crazy, just cocaine. And like I'm so like vanilla that I'm like, oh, cocaine. Like the world of comedians is divided into comedians who have done cocaine and comedians who have not. And I am on the side of comedians who have not done cocaine. And I know this because in green rooms, just half the people leave and they know not to ask me. I don't even get asked.
That's a good
They're
thing.
like, does Carrie do cocaine? And someone else is like, look at her. You know, and I'm like, hey guys.
That's
But
hilarious.
I've never done it because it was the way it was described to me. Like you sit down a really good friend and you're like, tell me, what is it? And she said, it's like drinking 10 cups of coffee and then having the most confidence you've ever had in your life. And I was like, I would never stop doing that. That sounds incredible. How can anyone, it's like people, caffeine is a drug, right? So you're like, there's a drug that you can take that's legal and cheap that makes you smarter and faster. Like, this is why we don't stop caffeine. It is a drug. It's just legal and cheap and socially acceptable, but it's a miracle drug. And congratulations on 16 years. That is impressive. Give it up for Dustin. Did he already check out? Oh, guys, we are ready for our headliner for the evening. But before we do that, we're going to remind the audience that we run a free show. And if you've enjoyed this evening, we would love if you threw some bucks at us. You can do that through Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, and Cash App. Oop, I'm putting them in the chat. The Cash App goes straight into Aaron's pockets. So use Cash App if you hate me. Wait, don't do that. I don't want to know. Don't let me know if you hate me. But throw us a couple of bucks. We really do appreciate it. It helps us keep the show running. And we want to give a shout out to the people who donated last week. So I'm just going to share the screen real quick and give these some shout outs. Illuminati level, we got Henry and Randy. Thank you so much. Friend level was a nice donation from Jessica H. Jessica H is lovely and sent us some tips, which was great. Potato level, we got Susan this week, and Evil Dave level is regular Dave. I took out evil potato level because potatoes aren't evil. That was pointed out to me. I got lots of fan mail. Potatoes aren't evil. But since Evil Dave donates almost every week, we think he's just sort of regular Dave, but his level is evil. Do you see what I'm saying? Is this... Okay. Well, anyway, thanks, Dave. We really do appreciate all of your donations. And if you want to see yourself on this list next week and see what level you get, throw us some money. And if you want to give cash, I will give you Aaron's address. He lives in a very nice building. And you can go up there and just cram dollars under, like smash some Beatles on it and cram it under his door. He likes that. Is that it? I did the thing. Okay. Are you guys ready for your headliner?
Yes.
He just got back like 20 seconds ago. He finally made it home from his travels. We're excited to hear all about his adventures. Please give it up for my co-host, co-producer, and friend, Aaron Camino Smith, everybody.
Aaron.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, everybody. I like how Carrie just asked and answered her own question.
Forgetting everything.
Is that it? Yeah, that is. I would have loved if someone was like, Carrie, there's more. And then we all just sat quietly as Carrie questioned herself, wondering what was more. And she's like, I told you guys about my pink ears. I covered that. What else could there be to talk about? Also, Carrie, I like how you did say that you didn't think about your earplugs because they were out of context.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to figure out what's going on. You're like, well, let's see, what things do I put directly into my ears? And you like went through your whole day, and the thing that you spend probably 7 to 9 hours with them in your ears, you're like, no, that can't be it. But that was it. Everybody,
I'm unconscious.
I guess you weren't thinking about it because you were sleeping. I just got back from Montana, everybody. I made it. I did it. I'm so excited. It was an amazing trip. I did 4 shows when I was out there. I went to Yellowstone. Those are not for the same reasons. I didn't do shows for elk. I've done shows at elk lodges, but I've never done a show for elk. That would be all dad jokes. Be like, oh, are you like the rest of these elk, or is he none of your ilk? Elk? Like, it would have been all jokes like that, and none of them would have gotten it because they don't speak English. So I got back at like 5 a.m. last night. So if anything doesn't go well, we're gonna blame Matt. We'll say that's what was going on. It's insane to me, the weather swings you get in Montana. It was 75 degrees during the day, and my final day that we were there, when we woke up overnight, it got down to 29 degrees.
Oh, wow.
In the same day. That's insane. This is why no one lives in Montana. All right. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I think that's God saying, like, you shouldn't be here. The only way for anything to survive here is for us to have hot springs. Naturally occurring hot springs. 50% of the world's geysers are in Yellowstone. I heard that statistic over and over again from all the overeager park rangers who told us the same things over and over again. No, we had a great time. It was fun. It was nuts. I did a lot of shows when I was out there. No Jews. I don't think there was a single Jew in the audience the whole time that I was performing. I don't know. Jews are like too cold here. This is ridiculous. So many pickup trucks, and all the highways. The speed is like 80 miles per hour. That's the speed limit. I think because everyone wants to get the heck out of Montana. They're like, we got to go. And our rental Toyota Corolla could barely hit 80. It was rough, hoping to not get passed by a pickup truck that was somehow pulling a trailer that was longer than an actual truck. I don't know how that was possible, but that's what the pickup trucks do. They've just got giant, super long trailers. And it was funny because like I did some shows, and my first night I did a show in Townsend, Montana. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Townsend, Montana. If you haven't, that's correct. There were 8 people at the show, and it's midway between Helena and Bozeman. If you don't know either of those places, also correct. You're driving on a 2-lane road where it's just straight for like 40 miles, and there is nothing. It's just fields, and then the speed limit goes from 80 down to 70, down to 60, down to 45, down to 35, and then suddenly there's one stop sign, and that was when my GPS was like, turn right. And I'm like, this has been the only turn for 40 miles. There have been no turns, and then I make a right turn, and there was like one brewery, and that's where the show was, in the upstairs room. Weren't bothering all the throngs of people in the downstairs room, the throngs of people being just the bartender's 7-year-old son who was there. That was the only other person. But the show was it was amazing, and I had a great time, and it was a lot of fun. That was my first day, by the way, that I was there when I was up since 4 a.m. the day before, or the morning before, to drive out and do that show. It went great, and then I was so excited the next day to sleep in. We were doing a little sightseeing. My wife came with me, and we went down. I had a show. There's actually a comedy club in Bozeman, Montana, and I was doing the shows there that night, and we went for a little walk. There's a beautiful park behind the Bozeman Public Library, and as I was walking on the sidewalk, a guy on a bicycle slammed into me from behind and knocked me to the ground and cut up my leg. This is totally true. I got hit by a bicycle My first full day in Montana.
Oh boy.
I have lived in New York City for like 20 years, and there are like 40 billion people here. I have never been hit by a bicycle. I go to Montana where there's like 7 people total, and after one day, I get hit by a freaking bicycle. Are you kidding? This guy hit me from behind. I didn't even know what was going on. I just like blinked once, and I was on the ground on my side, and my wife was screaming at him and cursing. It was amazing. It was almost worth it just to hear her yelling at him. I think that was my favorite part of the accident. I'm calling it an accident. I don't know what was an accident. He was just dumb. He gave me, he felt terrible. He really did feel bad. He gave me his name. He gave me his phone number. I started to try to write his name in my phone, but he's like, it is French. It's Matthew. It is French. It is Matthew. And I'm like, I just handed him my phone, and he wrote his phone number. And he's like, if there's any problems, he's like, you can just call me or whatever you want to do. Accepted his phone number because he's French. It started with a plus. I don't know what that means. And then I don't know if I'm supposed to like download WhatsApp just to send him a message. And I think at one point I was like, why are you in such a hurry? Like, this is it's going to be like 10 years of bicycling before you even get to the next state. Just slow down. I don't know if he was training for the Tour de France or what. He was going way too fast. And no, I will not call it Tour de France. All right. I will not. We call it France all other times. All right. Just because you put Tour de in front of it doesn't mean I'm now going to pronounce it France. All right. I'm calling it Tour de France. What did I do after about 5 minutes when I realized like I was okay and like I didn't break anything? I told him about the show that I was on that night. I was like, I'm getting a cut of the door. I may as well get this guy to come to the show. Guess what? He did not come. 2 chances. He didn't come to the show. Matthew screwed me over twice. All right. That's
Oh my God.
Absolutely. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I can't believe I got hit by a bicycle in Montana. That's what I did. That was really I wouldn't say the highlight. That was the like craziest thing that happened. That and seeing a bear run right in front of our car. That was the other thing that we did see.
That's great.
Yeah, they tell you to keep 8 bus lengths between you and the bear, and because you think everything's totally fine. Also, like, I don't know who's got like a couple of spare buses lying around to be like, oh, it was 9 bus lengths, but I think he's closer to 7 now. Let's get back in the car. He's way too close. It was pretty wild. And then on the way back, our flight kept getting pushed back for 4 hours, and then we got back at 5 in the morning. But it was a lot of fun, everybody. If you have not been out to Yellowstone National Park, I really do suggest going if you want to really unplug from reality and get out into nature until you get to Old Faithful, where suddenly you have the most cell service you've ever had, and then you have all of life come flooding back in suddenly for about 5 minutes, and then you go back. You're like, oh, I really need to respond to that person, and then you try to text them back, and then you realize you don't have service again. But that's good, and then you can just fret about it for the rest of your trip. So it was a great way to relax. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me. I know you were all wondering. I know that's why you all tuned in to be like, what has Aaron been doing? Where was he last week? Getting hit by bicycles. That's what I was doing. It's scabbed over nicely, everybody. It's doing well. Final thing. If you guys have been paying attention in the news, there was a kid who was missing in New York City. The NYPD found him. He was on the roof of his building.
Yay.
That's all it was. He was unharmed. I think he was a little thirsty. Also, have none of these cops ever watched The Hangover? That is, sorry, spoiler alert. That's exactly the plot of The Hangover. That was it right there. All right, everybody, you guys have been amazing. Give yourselves a round of applause for being so awesome. Clap it up for bear and elk and bighorn sheep and all the other animals I saw. It was amazing. I'll send it back to Carrie. Oh, and by the way, real quick, everyone, September 28th, filming my special. It's happening. We're doing it. Room 52. We got 2 shows, 6:30 and 9 p.m. It was great. I think Joni's going to drive out from Long Island. I'm going to hire a car for Joni to come out. And Joni said that her son was getting married was at a wedding, not getting married, was at a wedding in Montana. and that they were Jews. So I guess I missed a couple of other Jews. I missed them.
Aw.
But they were somewhere. I guess I got to go back to find them. Sending it back to Carrie, everybody. Thank you guys so much.
Give it up for Aaron. Aaron, can I share the text exchange we had while you were in Montana? Because I thought this was very funny. Aaron was like, first show at the club was good. Early today, I got hit by a bicycle. It's been weird. And that was the whole text message. And I thought it was funny that you were like, you didn't say you got hit by a guy on a bike. You got hit by the bicycle. So I was like, was it propelled by a human? Or was it just the bike? Like it just fell? Are you okay? I assume you're okay because you describe it as weird. And then I didn't hear from Aaron for another 12 hours. So all I could do was assume that I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad it was fun, and I'm glad you are back in one piece.
Yeah.
You guys have been a wonderful crowd. Thank you so much. We'll see you back here next Friday night. We're here every Friday with a different lineup. We'll see you next Friday at 8 p.m. East. Woo!
Thank you.
Time. Give it up for yourselves. Give it up for our comics this evening. Give it up for Aaron, Matt, and Dustin. And we'll see you next week. Thanks again.
Thank you, everybody.